I'm speaking to a collective today who would love to put themselves out there, love to be seen, although you are incredibly worried and fearful of the skeletons in your closet. There's a lot of regret with this collective. There's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of shame. There's a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas going on, right? And Spirit has sent me here today to not only help you, but to tell you about my own walk down this path, okay? The woman that you see on your screen today was not always as wise and just knowledgeable, right? Like, we all have skeletons in the closet, some crazier than others, right? I kind of fall on the line of scandal, right? Back in the day, there was a lot of scandalous moments. We'll get into it. But the song that I was getting was Take Me to Church by Hosier. And he's like, I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. So it's like, we want to get you to the point where I'm at today, where like, I welcome people like, oh, you want to talk about me? I'll sit down and I'm an open book these days. I'll tell you all my mistakes. I'm thankful for them at this point, because you don't know what you don't know until you know it, as well as if you didn't go through some of those lessons, those learning lessons, let's look at them as learning lessons. You wouldn't, like, you learned from it. It impacted you to where you carry this, okay? The vision that I was getting before I started was like a person, you, okay? And this person had chains around both feet. And the chain went down and there was a big, one of those like cinder block things, okay? Brick, whatever you want to call it. And like you just like you kept swimming, but like it pulled you down to the bottom of the ocean. Spirit's like, hello, you have a chain cutter in your pocket, meaning let's help you get that cut, right? So you can rise to the surface and be like confident and empowered to get out there, do what you want to do, to be seen, to share your story one day if that's where you would like to get to, because you can help other people. It's not about shame, embarrassment. People love to act all superior, right? But it's like the ones that can really look at it, forgive themselves, let it go, and then share. How impactful is that, instead of just talking shit about people, acting like they've never done anything wrong in their life? Like, we'll let them, whatever, go be gossipy and whatever. You, my friend, have a bigger mission than that, and a bigger understanding and awareness. So let's get into it. All right, so a little backstory on me. I come from an extremely religious family. It was that way and there was no other way. And if you questioned it, like, why were you questioning it? Our brains are not even, I would hear, our brains are not even wired to understand. Because I'd be like, what do you mean this, that? It was very religious, very Christian, Presbyterian-ish mega church. I come from a mega church, okay? Huge congregation. I went to Christian school from kindergarten until, you'll hear about it, 12th grade, right? And so I was always like, I don't buy this. What do you mean only the ones that go to heaven? You're telling me that everyone that does not have access just goes, like, I was always questioning it. I'm like, I don't believe this. The God that I love would not do this, right? Like, so I always had an awareness, right? And I always was a boundary pusher, and I always was a seeker, and I always just did what I kind of wanted, okay? Or like impulsive stuff. But fast forward, I did wind up getting pregnant. I was the first one to walk the halls of my Christian school, right? Imagine the scandal. Imagine the judgment. I'm writing a book one day. There's way more to it than that, okay? There's way more to it than that, just know. Buy my book when it comes out. But So not only did I walk through the halls of my school pregnant, the first one that they allowed, because normally they would just kick them out, like, goodbye. Somehow they let me stay. Okay. I stayed until I had to be on bed rest or whatever. But I also would I had to go up in front of my entire youth group and like repent it was wild. And also I was in like the church choir. So like every Sunday I'm up there pregnant, 16 years old, singing. Okay. Like it was just bizarre. And the way that I was treated was wild. I will write about that in my book as well. But it's like, okay, so imagine the amount of people. This school was huge. This church was huge. The judgment, okay, that I carried for a long time. The other thing, let's see. Oh, also, carry guilt. I was like, okay, so the family that I grew up in, at least, lots of gossip, a lot of judgment. Like they were always talking about people. It was a lot of gossip. And, also, I had a very emotionally abusive parent, mother, narcissistic tendencies. If not a narcissist, I'm not a doctor, I don't know, but like a lot of mental health issues to where I had like zero self-esteem, zero confidence, zero anything, right? Like no sense of self, nothing. An extreme people pleaser, an extreme oversharer, an extreme overgiver, as well as, mix in alcohol use, drug abuse for a little while, right? Nothing crazy, weed mainly, but like just numbing out, right? Numbing out. And other things, you know, exes that I was not very nice to, right? Made horrible decisions, ripped up their childhood teddy bear, ruined their car. Like, my God, if I could go back and be like, I'm so sorry, like, what the fuck? You know, like stuff that's just like, nowadays I look back and I'm like, oh my God, like I would never do that. But like, if I didn't do that then, I learned so much from like all of the past things that we would look at as shameful, as terrible, as skeletons, that I am happy to sit down with anybody and be like, this is what I did. This is what I learned from it, right? Like if I walk into a room, do I give a fuck if they're judging me? No, right? It's like, these people have no awareness to understand that the stuff that we deem as skeletons in the closet are very, very, very pivotal learning lessons in life, right? I would not be this gentle, kind, empathetic person that I am today if I did not walk the walk and it's like everything that happened in my life seemed to happen in a, like, at the beginning, right? Between birth and like when I got married at 21 or 22. I forget how old I was. So it all happened between birth and like 22. Like, not to say that I haven't had stuff happen since, but it's like the major trauma and stuff was very much the beginning little part of my life. And so it's like, you still have so much life to live. If you are in your 20s or 30s or whatever, it's like, we don't want you to carry this forever. There is a better way. Take me to church. I'll tell you my sins so we can sharpen your knife. I don't care if it makes them feel better, whatever, but it's not impacting me anymore. And that is the point that we want to get you to, is to how did I get to where I am today? A lot of work, right? A lot of self-compassion, grace, forgiveness, my spirit team, my faith, right? Everything that I can attribute it to is just a lot of work. But let's see. So where do you start? You start with, make a list. Make a list of everything that at this point, if it came out, you would literally a puddle on the floor of embarrassment, of crying, whatever. Write that list. Start there. And then what I want you to do is, when you feel strong, go one by one, depending on how traumatic they are. Give yourself grace, okay? Yeah, like if it's like super heavy hitting stuff, one at a time. If it's stuff that you feel strong enough to look at, and like multiple things at once, do that. But start the list and then look at each thing. You can do a meditation with the one thing, right? And a releasing ceremony of meditation. You can write them down. You can journal, shadow work on each topic. What happened, your perspective, what your perspective is now. I forgive myself or them, whatever it is that you need to do. But it's like, look at each individual thing, as well as I've done in meditation where like every person that I've ever like feel like I was a real dickhead to, I would like say, I'm sorry, cut the cord and return it to them, right? Because it doesn't mean you have to go to all these people and be like, I'm so sorry I did. No, you don't have to. You can if you want, but you don't have to do that. And so there's like, it's just like whatever way you feel that would be most beneficial for you to do this, do that. The way I would do it as well. So I've done it in meditation, the cord cutting. I've written lists. I've journaled. I've shadow worked on everything. I also do do releasing stuff as well. So I will write everything out on a piece of paper. This is a on a full moon, okay? On a full moon, I will write everything out on a piece of paper and I will burn it, okay? At the end, I will write it all down. I will go outside. I have like a fire pit and I will stand there and I'll read it and be like, and I'll my whole spirit team with me and I'm like, we are releasing this. It's done. I'm forgiven. Like, you know what I mean? Forgive yourself is the point. You are trying to forgive yourself because that's the most important thing. 11:11 on my timer as I looked. Forgive yourself. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. And now that you know it, forgive yourself. You don't have to carry it. Believe me. Nobody's judging you harder than you're judging yourself. And honestly, if they are judging you, they don't get it and they're not meant to, at least for now. And so we're just going to release them as well. Like, you know, like release their judgments and release their opinions because it doesn't affect you, right? The only people's opinion that affects you is yourself's opinion of yourself, right? And your higher power. That's about it. Other than that, you know. So that's the advice. Let's pull you some cards. All right, Spirit. This is my Archangel Michael Sword of Light deck. I love this. Oh, shoot. All right, let's get some cards for this collective's highest and best good. What do they need to know right now, please, Spirit? What? Okay. First one we got here, it says, recognize the signs from above. Angels are sending you messages now, but you're too distracted to notice. Stay alert and open to divine guidance. This is card number 26. I'm noticing angel numbers on this card. I'm noticing coins. I'm noticing feathers and butterflies and birds. So if you are seeing these in your reality currently, pay attention. Number 14, it says, have no fear. Fear is the trap. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from disquieting feelings that are holding you back. So that's another way to release it, right? Write them down. First thing you can do just to start, and then obviously you have to go deeper and deeper and deeper. But the first thing that you can do today, make a list. Then go one by one. Ask Archangel Michael to cut the cords by each one. That's the first thing that you can do. That's your homework for today. After that, start going down the rabbit hole of what other exercises you can do or whatever's coming to you, whatever sounds good to you. If I've ignited an idea in you, whatever. But yeah, this is a good place to start. Write it down. Ask Archangel Michael to use his sword to cut the cord so that it's not stuck, right? Because you're not stuck. Like I said, there's a chain cutter in your pocket. Set yourself free. Love you. If you want to go deeper, if you need help doing this, book a private session. I do live one-on-ones, or I also have pre-recorded readings that I'll do for you and send to you. So whatever you need, I am here for you. You have got this. Please do not be seen and not do what you want to do just because you're worried of the judgment of others. Others' opinions are not your, none of your business. Okay? Love you. Bye.